Most how to start business videos start at the wrong place. They assume you already know what you are selling. So they jump straight into building your brand, how to run ads, getting on social media, even building a website. But what if you don't know what to sell yet? Or what if you don't even know what you're good at and nobody has actually paid you for anything yet? That's the stage nobody talks about. And that's what this video is for. I recently started a series called the Operator's Roadmap, which I'll be talking about 6 stages every service business owner will go through from your first client all the way to generating up to 20 to 30K per month and more. Stage 1 is attract. How do you attract people to your business? Stage 2 is how do you close clients or prospects? Stage 3 is how do you deliver the service after you've closed it? Stage 4 is how do you systematize, and then we'll go into how do you scale it. But the most common question I get from skilled people, even business owners, is some version of, Dr. Finn, I haven't even started yet. I don't know what I'm selling. Where do I even begin? So today we go back before stage 1. This is stage 0. And the reason I'm calling it stage 0 is because it's not a failure state. It's a real stage. It has specific work to do, and most people skip it, which is exactly why they stay stuck. Here's what's actually going on for most people at stage 0. They are not stuck because they have nothing to offer. They are stuck because they haven't looked clearly at what they already have. And those are two very different problems. Let me say it plainly. Almost everyone watching this video already has a sellable skill. Not a perfect one, not even a polished one, but something real, something that solves a real problem that a real person will pay to have solved for them today. The question isn't, do I have something to sell? The question should rather be, have I actually looked? And most people haven't. Not properly, not with a framework. They have just sat there with a vague, uncomfortable feeling that they don't know where to start, and call that not knowing what to sell. So let me give you a framework that will help you solve this problem. And it takes just 15 minutes. I'll call it the skill audit. Here are 3 questions I want you to answer today, and write the answers down as we go. Question 1. What have people already paid you for from employment, even informally, no matter how small the amount is? Because fixing something around the house, helping someone organize a space, driving someone somewhere, even tutoring someone's kid, cleaning a place, moving furniture, it doesn't need to have been a formal business transaction. It just needs to have been a moment where someone valued what you did enough to give you money for it. Because past payment, even once, even if it's in an informal setting, is the strongest signal of a sellable skill. Question 2. What do people keep asking you for help with? Not paying, just asking you. That friend who always calls you when something breaks. The family member who always asks you to help them organize. Even the co-worker who keeps coming to you with a certain kind of problem. Because recurring requests from people who you trust is free market research. They're telling you there's a problem that they would pay to have solved. They're just getting it for free from you right now. Question 3. What have you done for 100 hours or more? Maybe from a job, a hobby, or just helping people over the years. 100 hours of repetition usually means real competence. And competence that solves a recurring problem for people who would pay a stranger to solve it, that is the business. So now, write down everything that came up across all 3 questions. Don't filter yet. Don't even judge. Just list them out. You probably have 5 to 8 things. Now let's filter them. Take each item on your list and run them through these 3 filters. Filter 1. Does it solve a specific recurring problem? Not that I'm good at organizing. Specifically, I help busy families get their garages cleared and organized in a single weekend. That is a more specific problem. The more specific the problem, the easier it is for someone to say that's exactly what I need. Because vague skills don't sell, but specific problems do. The second filter, would a stranger pay for it? Not just someone who knows you. Because friends help friends for free. A business needs people with no prior relationship or knowledge of you to be willing to hand over money to you. So if you can only imagine people who already trust you paying, you don't have a business yet. You have a favor. So here's the test. Could you post about this tomorrow and have someone you have never met inquire? If yes, it passes the second filter. Filter 3, can you deliver it again within a week? Because if the thing you're thinking of takes months to complete or depend on rare conditions, it's a project, it's not a service. A service business runs on repeatability. Same thing again this week, next week. So run every skills on your list through all 3. The one that passes all 3 filters That's your starting offer. Now write it in one sentence. I help specific type of person solve specific problem by the service you actually deliver. That sentence is your business. Not your brand, not your logo, not your website, just that sentence. And you need it before anything else makes sense. Here's the part where most people get this completely wrong. They think the first client comes from social media, or from a website, or from running an ad. It doesn't. Your first client comes from your network. People who already know you. People who don't need proof you don't have yet. For my tech training business, my first 5 students were my direct friends or friends of friends. For our cleaning business was people around our neighborhood. Here's exactly what we did. We wrote a list of 20 people, friends, family, former co-workers, neighbors, people I went to school with, people from church, gym, WhatsApp groups. Don't filter, just write 20 names first. Then pick 10 of them and send this message individually, not as a broadcast post. Hey name, I'm starting a service business helping specific type of person with specific problem. I am looking for my very first client this week and I would love to offer you a reduced rate in exchange for honest feedback. Would you or someone you know be open to being my first? That's the whole message. The reduced rate in exchange for honest feedback framing, I call that the founder's rate because that does something important. It removes the biggest objection someone has when you have zero track record, the risk. Because they're not betting on an unknown, they're getting a deal for someone they trust, and you get your first real client, which will lead to real feedback and a real testimonial. There's one more thing you need to know. Most first clients don't come from the first message. They come from message 2 or 3. Because most people don't reply immediately. Not because they are not interested, but because life is busy and they could forget. So follow up 3 days later. A short, warm, no pressure message. Just following up on my message from Tuesday. Say I have availability this week if you are interested. Something simple. Because that follow-up message is where most deals actually close. Now, if you have been watching this series for a while, if you already have clients coming in, stage 0 might not be where you are. The way to know for sure, you could take our operator's diagnostics checklist. It's linked below, it takes about 3 minutes. It scores you across all 6 stages of your business and tells you exactly which one to focus on right now. But if you're genuinely at the starting line, no clients yet, or clear on the offer, stage 0 is your work. The good news is, it's not a long stage. You go from skill audit to a filter test to an offer statement written, then first client message sent to 10 people. You get your first yes, and stage 0 is complete. I put a free stage 0 starter kit together. That's the full worksheet for the skill audit, the filter test table, the offer statement template, the first client message, and a 7-day action plan. Everything we just covered in a format you can actually fill in. Link is in the description. It's free and no catch. And if you want to walk through any of this with me live, I run a free workshop every Wednesday at 7 p.m. EST. You can bring your specific situation, ask questions in real time, and I will help you figure out your actual starting point. Also linked below. And if this was useful, subscribe. Because there are 6 more stages to go through in this series. And stage 1 is building your first consistent lead system. And that's the next episode. So see you there.